Hello and welcome back to the Moonee Valley Voices, the local Moonee Valley podcast, where we're chatting to great people from the community who do wonderful things. And today I'm delighted to be joined by Anthony Cerchiara from Golden Goose Finance. Welcome, Chich.
Thank you, Matty.
Yeah,
Thanks for
Chich
having
and
me.
I go back a while. We played at Essendon Royals together back in the day when the club was sort of climbing the ranks of Victorian football in the old provisional days.
I don't think they would have had us if they were back at their heights. Where they were.
We definitely wouldn't have gotten a gig. So it's great to connect with Anth. And so Anth, welcome. We normally start these shows just by getting a feel for our guests and their sort of connection to the local community. I know you from our sporting days. So you want to just share a little bit about your time growing up in the Moonee Valley and sort of what you love about it?
Absolutely. So I was basically born and bred in Moonee Valley. Grew up, went to St John Bosco's primary school, and then obviously proceeded to St Bernard's. Always been in the community, whether it's been sports, school, everything like that. So, obviously we played together with Essendon Royals, and I think I did I did my juniors at Keeler Park Soccer Club as well. So that's where I learnt the trade, and and then kicked on to Essendon Royals. So schooling, early life was absolutely in the Moonee Valley area, and obviously living in Nidri at the moment. So yeah,
nice. And you're still lacing up the boots in the third. Super high level of competition.
Yeah. It's tough. It's tough.
It's tough for different reasons. I think.
It's tough to get out of bed on a Monday morning after a Sunday game. I'll tell you that. It's a lot harder for that. It's fun. It's a really good field down in Essendon Royals. Obviously, very family orientated, and that's what I love. Obviously, I'm not there to get scouted by Melbourne Victory, although if Arthur's listening,
they're not watching.
Okay.
Right.
Arthur, if you're listening, I'm available.
Yeah.
It's just obviously more of a social thing. It feels like I go out there, play soccer with 20 of my mates, and at the end of the game, we're in the change rooms having a muck around about a misplaced pass or a shot that went out for a throw in. So
they must go for a while though.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot to talk about. During the games.
No, very good. And recently a dad as well. How are you finding journey into fatherhood?
Big transition. To be honest with you, he's a ripper. He's an absolute ripper, and I think what I find the most feedback I get, and you would know, you're obviously a father of many. Of many.
I've got a herd going. Yeah.
You got a soccer team of your own. The main thing that Domenico, my son, is really good at is sleeping. And that has been an absolute godsend. You can tell when he hasn't slept well through the night, because the household, myself and Rachel, were a bit wound up, bit angst, and when he has slept through the night, it's a lot more relaxing. He's relaxed, we're relaxed. It's good. So he's been a really good sleeper, and you kind of take the good with the bad. It's like, well, if he doesn't sleep during the day, he might get a little bit cranky, this and that. But as long as he sleeps through at night, he's all good. So he's been a ripper, been really easy to deal with, and I've been told by many different parents, and I'm sure you can attest to this, is that just because the first one's this good doesn't mean the second one's going to be that good.
Definitely not. Take the sleep. It's always a great start to fatherhood if you can still keep your sleeping patterns pretty much in check. As long as you're not getting up too much to watch, into the line or something like that these days, you should be all right.
Yeah, sometimes he's watching it with me, so.
That's good. That's what we like. All right. So, you've obviously gone into business at, comparatively, I guess, quite a young age. You've got Golden Goose Finance.
Yep.
Still in your, early 30s, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, 31, yep.
31. So, I'm just interested in what sort of pushed you into running a business at such a young age. When did you start?
Yeah, absolutely. So I was working for, I guess, a Big Four bank since I was 18. So 10 years in the industry with the Big Four. And, straight out of school, I started as a teller in the branch back when, not so many branches anymore, but back when there was heaps of branches. Started as a teller in the branch and then worked my way up to being what's called a mobile banker. So that was essentially going to people's houses and doing home loan applications in their living room at 7:30 at night, Mm-hmm. So, kind of working my way up to there. And what I found is that there was a bit of a ceiling. Once you've achieved everything you need to do in that role, it was kind of like, well, where do I go from here? The next logical step, I guess the standard level of progression is to go out on your own, start your own business, as daunting as it is. So you cut your teeth at, I cut my teeth at a Big Four bank, and, that experience is invaluable, essentially. You learn everything there is to know. And then once you become an expert, you kind of I branched out myself and thought it would be good to run my own business. So here I am.
Yeah. So what were those, first sort of weeks? It's sort of a daunting thing when you leave a job and you start your own business. I remember, 6 years ago when I left sort of full-time employment to start Content Hype. It was the first couple of days what do I do now? What do you remember of those first few weeks?
Yeah, it's chaos. It's absolute chaos. So I'm sure you would know. Again, you're a business owner yourself. You got to get your insurances. Then you got to get your laptops, your phone sorted out, and then once you're onboarded, it's like, okay, well, you got to ask the banks and say, look, I'm a broker. I want to start writing home loans to you guys, and they got to say yes or no. And the first, I guess, 12 weeks while you're getting onboarded, getting your insurances, your public liability, all that kind of stuff, is mayhem. And then after that's all done, silence. You know what it's like. You're looking at your phone waiting for it to ring, kind of thing. And then, unfortunately, that phone's not going to ring unless you get yourself out there, get the word out there, and do all that kind of stuff. So, the first, I guess, couple of months after you on board, it's taking it slow and going back to basics. And again, working at that Big Four, you learn your business acumen and stuff like that. And you get a bit rusty and you might get a bit complacent with your job, if you've had 2-3 years of tenure in your role, but you never lose it. So you are rusty when when you got to do it again, but you never lose it. And, it comes back pretty naturally. So, you're starting and, you're doing home loans for your family and friends because they're the ones that are going to support you. They're the ones that are going to say, yeah, okay, look, I'll support Anthony starting his own business and all that kind of stuff. And then it's a tactic of how do I develop it and expand it further than that. Very daunting to answer your question. Yeah.
Yeah. So it sounds like in startup phase, a lot of your initial clients were sort of friends and family. How did you sort of make that progression? Was it a lot of word of mouth referral type of stuff?
100%. 100%. So not so much in the marketing space. I think mostly it was word of mouth, and it was a good way to start actually, because it means that you can give time to the person in front of you essentially. So you can spend the time to say, you spend that long with the client. You really look after them. You know their needs. You know everything about them, and you tailor a solution basically for them. And at the end of it, it's just not being afraid to say, listen, have you been happy with the service? How was the process? All that kind of stuff. If you're happy, would you mind referring a family or friend to the business and trusting me with their finances? And being trusted with finances is it's a big thing. It's not a small thing. If it's all about how well of a job that you do, then will that person trust that you're going to do a good job for their friend, because it's their reputation that's on the line. Because it's, hey, this person told me to go to Anthony, and Anthony hasn't been very good. I don't know why they told me to go to Anthony. Where obviously you want the reverse of that, but that's it's the reputation that's on the line, if that makes sense. So word of mouth is, and it still is a massive part of my business in terms of where I find my leads from.
Yeah, and I guess even just probably one lesson for that for anyone starting a business or running a sort of business in its first few years is actually being brave enough to ask your clients for that referral or even a Google review or something like that, like something that, people get complacent with, but they are really like one of the big lifebloods of your business from a marketing
100%. It makes such a difference. And the amount of people that, if I speak to them and, they've given me a little bit, which is like, oh, I need to get that under review and all that kind of stuff. And you call them a couple of weeks later, said, hey, we've had the chat. Do you want to review it now? And they kind of go, oh, yeah, I'll let you know, kind of thing. And, just by Googling, Golden Goose Finance or whatever, the amount of people I've said is like, I didn't know what you were about. And then I read the Google reviews and they've said they've been positive. They said you're responsive, you're this, you're that. it just creates that trust. And, asking for a referral or a review, it can be so awkward. It can be so awkward. I mean, for me now, it's a bit second nature for me. But when you first ask for it, it can be daunting. You don't want to do it. You're sweating because you're like, how are they going to take it? This and that. But it's just so important to have those I shouldn't say tough questions because they're not tough questions, but in your head they're tough questions to say. To ask for the referral. Yeah.
And was Golden Goose from day dot? How did you land on that? So it's a cool name. How did you sort of land on that?
Yeah. So it's an interesting one. No, I actually had a company that was the creative aspect of it. As I'm sure you can understand, finances, there's not much creativity in that. It's very, this is your number and that's it. But so we did have a creative team look at it, and we kind of went down the path of, and the vision that I gave them was, obviously, it had to be professional because you are dealing with finances. And, if I want to deal with someone's $5 million portfolio, it does need to be somewhat professional. But by the same token, I did see a hole, I guess, in the industry, which was there's not too much creativity in the industry. Majority of brokers that you go to will be like AFG brokers or, a surname brokers. So I did see a gap in the market, which was the creativity part. I think what we do I find it interesting, but most people would find it boring, what we do. So to have a little bit of creativity, have a bit of fun with it is very important. And, there's a lot of pushback on the name Golden Goose. So, we had some tough conversations with the creative team that thought of that, and they basically said, wait till you see everything together. And I think with the logo and the branding, all the fonts that we've used and stuff like that, it's created that professionalism while still being, I guess, playful and fun and things like that.
Well, it definitely stands out from the crowd, right?
Well,
which is sort of half the battle.
Yeah, it's amazing how
especially in your game, because there's brokers every
that's right. Broker. So, I always tell people, and, the amount of times I get, that's an interesting name. And I say, well, people either love it or they hate it, but you'll never forget it. So that's the way I look at it.
Awesome. And so that's the branding you went with from day dot. I mean, even that's pretty like a mature approach to starting. A lot of people would just, come up with a name, register it and get running. So you've got the brand, you've got your first few clients through the door. You're a bit creative with your marketing as well, because I've seen you partner up with, the guys at Insight, who I know through the Essendon Royals connection.
Of course.
Talk to me about what you're doing with those guys.
Yeah, they're awesome. The crew down there. I know you had Nikki down here for a previous podcast. The crew down there are amazing. They're the same as Essendon Royals feel, where it feels like one big family, and they look after their people, and I can trust my clients with them. But basically, I guess the way that we came up with it was kind of two-pronged. So for me, I've always been not so much into fitness, but I've always been active. I don't remember a time where I either wasn't playing sport or in the gym. I've always been doing something. The other prong was that in our industry, we say reviewing your home loan, it should be a yearly thing. So it should be like getting your bloods done or looking at your dental work, getting your teeth done. So I always say, it's like getting your teeth done. You should be doing it every year, but not everyone does. So there's a big, I guess, line in our industry, which is, have you had a home loan health check? So really leaning into that. And I thought that was a creative way to do it. So we do have a promotion at the moment whereby if you do take out a home loan with Golden Goose, you will get a couple of months free membership down at Insight.
Awesome.
So the crew there, they'll look after you as well. And if you are already a member at Insight, again, you take out a loan with Golden Goose, we'll pay for a couple months of that. So,
nice.
Or if you're with a different Pilates studio, you can always transfer to Insight. I don't think I get paid enough from Insight to plug them.
You're gonna have to start up in the rate, mate.
That's it.
That's awesome. So, I think when you start a business, you'll take whatever comes. But in the time that you've been running Golden Goose, do you find you've sort of found a niche in the broking space for you? Is there a type of client? Is it first homeowners?
So of course, we'll take anyone and anything. We are brokers, we're creative. Just because your bank says no doesn't mean everyone else is going to say no. So, we would ideally, anyone can have a banking or a loans need. But what I have found, and I think this is just generally comes down to my age and, obviously the people I associate with are generally my age and things like that. But finding I'm getting a lot of first home buyers because, again, that is my age profile. A lot of my mates are in that age bracket where it's time to buy their first house. There's a lot of, I guess... I find I do a lot of first home buyers, but that's not to say that I only do first home buyers, if that makes sense. If you're an investor and you have 5 properties, give me a call.
All right, we'll get to the investors in a sec. But the first home buyers. So there's obviously been a bit of news lately around,
absolutely,
how the government's sort of trying to help more, first home buyers get into the market.
Yep.
You want to just talk through? You're gonna have to do the heavy lifting here.
Yeah,
I've got like a surface level understanding.
Yeah, definitely. No, that's fine.
Do you want to talk me through what those changes are?
Sure. So, the government have come out with an initiative that's really, really good, and it pains me to compliment the government, but I will compliment them. This is one of the better initiatives that they've come up with. So basically, what they've found in the market is that they want to get more first home buyers into the market rather than, again, an investor that's getting their 5th property. So what they've found is that majority of first home buyers, they're earning a decent income, but they haven't had, I guess, enough time, or they're renting to save for a deposit, which is always tough to save for a deposit if you're renting, because it's almost like having a home loan. Basically, what they've found is that for people that don't have a large deposit, I think the minimum is 5% plus stamp duty. So if you do have a 5% plus stamp duty deposit, they will look at guarantoring the loan, which basically means that if for whatever reason the loan falls down and the bank takes over the house and sell the house, if they make a loss, the government will cover that. So the banks love it because they're guaranteed to get their money back from whether it's from the government or from selling the house, they're guaranteed to get their money back. So the banks absolutely love it. It also makes a whole host of first home buyers a lot more competitive at auctions and negotiations, because now all of a sudden you don't need a 20% deposit to avoid lender's mortgage insurance, and a bit of jargon there, but you don't need a 20% deposit to get into the market. You only need a 5% deposit. As I said, those houses that they just go bid, and they'd become out of reach for first home buyers. Now not so much is happening because you don't need so much of a deposit.
Yeah. So, and there used to be like some sort of restrictions on that, and it's pretty much a lot more sort of carte blanche now, isn't it?
Pretty much. So there used to be in Victoria specifically, there was a maximum purchase price of $800,000, and the feedback they got was more or less that $800,000 can't get you too much these days, unless you go further out or you buy a unit. So they've increased that to $950,000 in Victoria as of this month. There was also an income threshold. So as a single person, if you were earning more than $120,000, you weren't eligible. And if you were in a partnership or a relationship, I should say, a combined income couldn't be over $200,000. But as you say, a bit of carte blanche now, and they've got rid of that threshold whatsoever. So it doesn't matter how much you're earning. You, as a first home buyer, you still qualify for the scheme. Yep.
And what about stamp duty? Is that still a thing for like stamp duty exemptions, that sort of thing?
Stamp duty exemptions are still a thing. That hasn't been lifted, unfortunately. So basically, anything under as a first home buyer, anything under $600,000, there's no stamp duty.
Yep.
Between $600 and $750, there's a discount on stamps, and the closer you are to $600, the more of a discount you get. And then $750 and above, you're paying what everyone else is paying for stamp duty. So if you are a first home buyer looking at a house of $850,000, so you will need 5% of that plus your stamp duty as well.
Yeah. All right. Good to know. And I think another aspect we sort of spoke about was obviously you're getting a lot of calls from first homeowners, but also business owners who are maybe looking to restructure some tax debt.
Yeah.
So ATO's going hard these days, hard in the paint. So.
They are. They're finding everything they can.
Yeah. Well, they've got to guarantee all these loans.
Yeah, well,
mate,
that's right.
they got to get it from somewhere.
That's right. So complete other end of the spectrum. First home buyers and business owners. Yeah, complete other end of the spectrum. But I guess benefit for business, well, the benefit for business owners is that the government have recently announced that if you do have a tax debt and you do take out a loan with them as like a payment plan, usually you would pay interest on that loan. You still will pay interest on that loan, and it will be a very high interest rate. However, that was always tax deductible, so you could offset that against your income, and it's not that bad. Unfortunately, the government have said no, it is now not tax deductible, so you will just be paying that out of your pocket. What we can look at for you is that we do have some banks that will look at refinancing tax debt. So you just basically take out a loan from the bank for the tax debt. You pay the tax debt off. However, the interest from the company, given the financier, is now tax deductible. Right. So you still get the benefits of it being tax deductible. It's just not with the ATO. It's just with the bank. So that's what we're getting a lot of calls from accountants with some big business debts that we're having to refinance. Yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough. So what sort of opportunities are these changes opening up, and what sort of pitfalls should people perhaps be aware of?
Yeah, so I guess obviously the earlier one with the first home buyers is it means that there's going to be a bit more first home buyers in the market, obviously more competition. The benefit is that, again, a first home buyer could go up against someone that's not a first home buyer and could potentially win a bidding war where that isn't traditionally the case. The pitfall of that is that you probably are competing against another first home buyer who's got the same allowances kind of thing. So it does kind of just push the market up a little bit. But again, in the first scenario of you're up against someone else that's not a first home buyer, you do have a bit of an advantage with that. In regards to the business debt, I don't really see a pitfall. The only thing I can really see is maybe the interest rate might be a little bit higher if you go with a bank. But again, it is tax deductible. So I think overall you'll be better off by taking out that loan with the bank rather than having it with the ATO. Yeah. Plus, they get enough money.
They get enough. That's right. They don't need it. Very good. And so what sort of trends are you seeing in sort of the clients that you're working with? I know you said you are getting a lot of that first home owner buyers. How are they? I know this helps with that deposit aspect because that is a very tough part of it. If you're renting to sort of put enough money away, obviously this will help with that. But what other things are you sort of seeing to help them sort of get in the market, whether it's something that they're doing or help they're getting from elsewhere?
Yeah, I think obviously it's easy to say when they're getting help from elsewhere if they're getting help from their parents. But to be honest with you, guarantors as well is a big help. So if they do have family that have a lot of equity in their property, they're able to guarantor the loan, which means again they don't have so much. They don't need so much of a deposit, which is good. The other aspect is that I have about 25 to 30 different banks on my panel that I could use at any time. Now, each bank's different. So generally people kind of gravitate to wherever their savings account is, because that's their home. That's we're creatures of habit. That's kind of what we do. If they turn around and say no, they just think that's just no. Yeah. But that's not the case. Yeah. Again, if they're not going to have you, I'm sure someone else will have you. Now we have, again, having access to so many different banks have certain niches where they look at. So I'll give you an example. There is a bank, I won't say which bank. There is a bank, but they look after emergency services. Right. So if you're earning overtime by being a paramedic or anything like that, they're able to offer you more of a loan than what you would if you went to your local bank. Yeah. So there are different niches, and that's the benefit of, I guess, being a broker and having, those different options, is that you don't have to stick with the same option all the time. And, as I said, just because one bank says no doesn't mean they're all going to say no. Yeah,
I think that's an interesting point because you definitely hear of stories where, people might have access based on their job, and it's not just the emergency services
No.
example. Whether you're a doctor or in allied health, that sort of
Yeah.
stuff. Some banks do
Even
look
accountants.
at that. Yeah,
Accountants get
really?
looked after.
People looking after them?
I can't believe it either.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So So and you're actually connected with another guest we've had on the pod before, Stephen Simone.
Yes.
Your brother-in-law.
My brother-in-law. Yep.
So yeah, very strong connection there with Steve and the Silent Sight Foundation.
Absolutely.
We've obviously spoken to Steve twice now. Can you give us your
You must be sick of him by now.
Well, I speak to him a lot more than twice, probably twice a day at the moment. But,
Probably, yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that journey from your perspective as an uncle, because obviously, you're his brother-in-law.
Absolutely.
So tell me about that relationship and what you've seen.
Obviously, my sister.
Yeah.
Look, I won't be doing it justice by talking about it. I think you should, if you do want to hear about it, go back to the episode with Stephen Simone. It was almost had me in tears, and I know the story. So, I won't be doing it justice. But just to summarise, basically, I was born. I had two nephews born with that are deaf, and unfortunately going to lose their sight by around about the age of 10. They'll be legally blind by the age of 10. Seeing what Steve and my sister Steph have done in the community, and just starting this charity and growing it. It's only been a year, and they've managed to. I mean, they're doing the car show on Puck. They closed down the whole of Puckle Street, like unbelievable. They've only been doing it for a year, and it's amazing to see what can happen when everyone pulls together for a certain cause, and we can get things done. I have nothing but respect and such great admiration for Steve and my sister Steph. When we got the diagnosis of the kids, it hit us like a ton of bricks. Like it's there's not much worse than that. And you look at yourself and you go, geez, all my problems I have are they're nothing. Oh, I got a rates bill that I got to pay. It's nothing compared to what these kids are going through and what their parents are going through as well. For Steph and Steve not to just sit on their hands and accept that this is their life and this is how it's going to be, and to actually say, you know what, we're going to do something about this, and we're not going to die wondering. We're going to, we're going to put everything we can towards this. And if nothing comes of it, then nothing comes of it. But I'm sure something will come of it if we put all our energy and resources into it. So, as I said, nothing but respect and great admiration for Steve and Steph. Don't tell Steve I said that. It's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah. Obviously, we've got the big event coming up on Sunday, so we'll try and get this out before the event. But it's been a humongous effort from Steve and everyone around him to sort of promote it, get it out there. He's had so many great partners come on board. I know Golden Goose is sort of a partner of the foundation as well. Can you just tell me what you're looking forward to about the event, as well as obviously raising some much needed funds, and everyone should go and buy a raffle ticket at silentsight.org. But
absolutely,
what are you looking forward to from the day itself?
I'm a big rev head myself, so just seeing the classic cars would be unreal. Yep. Obviously, he's got the special guests coming down. Mark Winterbottom's an unbelievable spokesperson, and I actually got to meet him a couple of weeks ago.
He got to rev your Mustang.
He did get to rev my Mustang. It was surreal, and looking back, I should have got him to silent the engine or something like that, But no, it's going to be an unbelievable. There's going to be I think it's 10 to 3 o'clock. There's going to be so much there, and I'm just looking forward to. I know some of the cars that are coming down, and I'm looking forward to seeing them in person and seeing what they look like, and having them pull into Puckle Street and everything like that. And the other thing is what it's going to do for Puckle Street and the community. Having that foot traffic, having those people go into those local businesses. Hey, I need a bottle of water. I'm a bit tired, I'll buy a bottle of water. Hey, do you want to stop for a coffee? That kind of stuff. So I'm sure the business is going to thrive from this. Come down, support local, and enjoy some nice, beautiful cars.
Oh, perfect. Well, nice segue into our final sort of segment. So talking about supporting locals. So you're obviously a Moonee Valley boy, born and bred. we do a couple of quick fire faves. So when you need a coffee, what's your go-to in the Moonee Valley?
Damazi, for sure.
Damazi. Did I see they're closed for renovations? Or?
No, they go. I had dinner there. We had a Essendon Royals dinner there last week, actually.
Yeah, okay.
So they're good. They're going.
Okay. Very good. I thought I saw that they were doing some sort of reno or something. But that's good to hear. Is there a local hidden gem that you enjoy that maybe not too many other people know about?
Yeah, I'm hesitant to say it because now everyone's going to go there. I know your podcast gets massive reach, so
yeah.
I'm an absolute sucker for Japanese food. I love Japanese food. Now, I'm going to absolutely butcher this, so sorry to any Japanese people listening, but it's called umiyaki in Moonee Ponds.
Okay.
Absolutely love it.
Where is it in Moonee Ponds?
It is...
You're being vague on purpose, so people...
I have been vague on purpose. I can't tell you which street it is, but it's off Puckle. It's one of the alleyways there. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay. We're going to have to look it up. All right. Sounds good. I'm going to ruin all your family dinners there. All right. And if you weren't running Golden Goose Finance, what sort of local business would you have a crack at?
Yeah, so I said before I was a bit of a rev head, so I don't know, something to do with cars, I reckon. So either detailing, panel beating, mechanic.
Yeah, I can't let you go. I should have put this in the run. You have your own little detailing YouTube.
Yeah.
Speaking about massive reach. Tell us about your detailing.
Well, I don't know about that one. I don't know about the massive reach aspect of it, but no, it's good fun. It's a little hobby that I like doing. I just love unique cars and things like that. So I've got a lot of friends that have cars themselves, and just enjoy the process of turning them to a normal car into making them shine and stand out and everything like that. So. A little hobby that I've been doing, a little YouTube channel. I'm not quite Mr. Beast,
that's all right.
but yeah, it's just a little hobby and something I started kind of like most people did over COVID.
Yep.
And it's growing. It's got a couple of thousand subscribers. So
nice.
it's a little passion project of mine.
What's the best car you've detailed? Or your top three? Give me your top three.
Well, do you know what's interesting is that the best cars actually don't have the best views. Which is really weird. I find...
You know why? Because people want to see how to do it to their own car. There'll be so many people. Anyway, give me your top three and then we'll see. We'll go with the most views.
All right. Top three, I had an SL55 Mercedes, beautiful car.
Yeah.
I had a Nissan GTR R32. Actually, that's probably number one.
Yeah.
And then I had... got to put my Mustang in there.
Yeah.
I have to put my Mustang in there.
He's done 50 videos.
I've done Porsche 911s, but my Mustang's better,
Yeah, nice. And so which car gets the most views?
So the car that got the most views is actually an old 1968, I believe it was, Ford Galaxy.
Right.
And I think the reason it got so many views is majority of my audience is American-based.
Right.
Now, back then, we got all their cars. So we got their Chargers, we got their Mustangs, we got all of it. But the Australian cars never made it over there back then.
Right.
So a Ford Galaxy to an American, they've never heard of this car,
right.
So I think it's the intrigue and stuff that comes with it. But funnily enough, the Australian cars actually do better than the supercars. It's crazy.
I guess a lot of motor enthusiasts, they want to see how maybe they've got a similar car or something, how they can...
Absolutely. As I said, unique cells.
Yeah. And what's the most common mistake people make when it comes to cleaning or looking after their own car?
Dropping microfiber towels on the floor. Once you drop a microfiber towel on the floor, throw it out. It's no good.
See my face drop for a second.
Get rid of it. It's no good.
When they drop it on the floor, next to the car while they're cleaning.
Yeah. Don't drop it. Don't drop it.
Don't drop it. And if you do drop it, go get a new one.
If you do drop it, throw it in the bin. Yeah.
What about the other one I always see is using at the car wash the big soap brush.
Oh God.
So that's a do or a don't?
Nah, now you're getting on my nerves.
Yeah.
Now you're getting on my nerves.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. It's a lot of micro scratches that happen on the car, and you might not be able to see it immediately, but when it's in the sun and you see all the swirls and stuff, it just doesn't look good. You want the nice paint job, it in the sun, you want it beaming off the car. Instead,
Yeah.
you see all these little scratches. It's just, I don't like it.
You don't like it. All right. So can people actually use this service of yours, or like select few? You have to have a grouse car.
No. People can use the service for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
You
Yeah.
got a kid now. You need to do more work.
Well,
so.
that's it. That's it. And I got my weekends now. The soccer season's done. I got my weekends back. Yeah.
Perfect. Good car washing weather coming up, mate.
That's it.
Well, Chich, thanks so much for dropping in today.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
Just to the camera, if you want to give people the details of how to connect with Golden Goose.
For sure. Absolutely. So, goldengoosefinance.com.au. My email is anthony@goldengoosefinance.com.au. Hit me up even if you just want to review your home loan and see that, make sure that you're on the best interest rate possible, because, $500 in your pocket means a lot more than $500 in the bank's pocket. So you might as well keep that money. So yeah, give us a call.
Perfect. Well, Anth, thanks so much for joining us. That's another episode of Moonee Valley Voices in the books. Thanks for tuning in, and stay tuned for our next episode.